What's going on, my day-to-day people? Got my people with me, huh? Got my people with me. Once again, another day to serve the Lord. Another day to bless the Lord. How do we bless the Lord? We speak of what he's done for us. Not only what he's done for us, but what he's done for others. Another day to soak this bread, share this knowledge. Iron sharpens iron. So, convenience or a trap? We have to think when we come across things, is it convenient or is it a trap? Now, let's start off with AI, artificial intelligence. The stuff that they're coming out with now, and we're going into that age of artificial intelligence. Right, we're at the beginning of it where they're starting to roll out different things where you can see a video of how I'm speaking now into the camera and screw up everything that I'm saying, and the words that I'm saying will be completely different. They're starting to roll these things out. They haven't perfected it yet. However, it becomes a form of convenience, right? Remember, convenience or a trap. Okay, so if you're doing homework or work task or whatever the thing may be, and you cut corners, what do you learn from cutting corners? Yeah, you may get past that goal, you may surpass whatever was blocking you, but what do you actually learn from that? That's why we have to stay grounded within this foundation that's in this word. Stay grounded within the foundation. Be around people who share the same knowledge, the same beliefs, the same core system within the same doctrine. All praises. So the age that we're heading into with this artificial intelligence, we have to remind ourselves: is it a convenient? Is it convenient, or is it a trap? Which one of the two? Now, mind you, with AI being into this world, which this world is Satan's, we're in Satan's kingdom. Now, there's a difference to be in Satan's kingdom or to be a part of Satan's kingdom. There's a difference to be in the world versus being a part of the world. Now, if we remember when he was speaking to Christ and he tempted him with the three things, right? One was to come into his kingdom if he shall worship him. Jesus said no. So within the confines of Satan's kingdom, he has these different advances, whether it's technology, whatever the case may be. Remember, nothing new is under the sun. So when we roll into this artificial intelligence age with these robots and everything else that's coming behind it, understand that there's going to be doctrines that's going to fly at us that seems so easy. And I've heard one the other day that's it's sickening because they're saying there are more than one way that you can get into heaven. Now, this is something I've heard before. I'm not going to say this gentleman's name, but he was a celebrity and said that he believed there was more than one way to get into heaven, which is not false, or which is not true. It's not true. What's true is the only way to get into heaven is through Jesus Christ. That's one way. There's no other way around it. You have to go through Jesus. You have to go through what he was teaching, abide what he was teaching. See that he set the example that was for us on how we are to navigate within Satan's kingdom. All praises. Let's look at Lot, right? Being surrounded by Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot was there within that location, but he was not a part of that location. He was not a part of the wickedness that was happening during that time, if you are to read within the confines of Genesis. He was there, but he was not a part. So we're here, but we're not a part. And that's the difference. That's the difference we got to understand, that we're in Satan's kingdom, but you don't have to be a part of Satan's kingdom. Within Satan's kingdom, there's going to be all types of gold and glitter and everything that catches your eyes, especially when we're going into different ages, when we're going into this artificial intelligence age. I can roll on just off of what I've seen for these past few weeks that deals with it. I've seen artificial intelligence girlfriend. Like, wake up. An artificial intelligent girlfriend. What would you need with that? Like, come on. But we have to go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning. Whenever you had that enmity between the woman and Satan, right? That little cause of division right there between the woman and Satan. So his main plan is to disrupt any type of birth. Now, let's think about this. You have to be born again. So if he's going to disrupt anyone to be born again, he's going to do it. And he's going to do it in ways that seems convenient. That's why we are to train a child in the way that he ought to learn. When he grows older, he comes back to him. Like the parable of the prodigal son. Went out there, ventured out in the world, and seen the world wasn't loving him. The world wasn't paying him back. So he eventually came back. We all go through it. We go out there, we see the world's not going to pay us back. So eventually we go back to the Father. Right? We'll leave with these scriptures. I've talked a little bit more than I planned to, but is it convenient or is it a trap? You have to ask yourself these things, right? Whenever these things are displayed, whether they're in stores, whether they're on your phone, whether they're in your community, is it convenience or is it a trap? So let's start in Jeremiah 17. Excuse me. That's Jeremiah 17. Let's look at, let me get here. Jeremiah 17, let's start in verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusts in man and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from the Lord. Once again, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusts in man and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from the Lord. There you go. When we trust in man and not the Lord, that man can fail you. That man can lie to you. That man can deceive you. That man can lead you to a ditch. And when these things happen and then you put so much trust in the man and then you see that he falls because he's a human being just like you, what does it do? You get disgusted by this man, right? You're disgusted. And say if this man was talking about Jesus, if he was talking about the Lord, then what's that going to do? It says it right here. Once again, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusts in man and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from the Lord. The moment you trust in flesh, your heart's already gone. That's why we have to trust in the Lord. Lean not on our own understanding. Once again, 6. For he shall be like a heathen in the desert, and shall not see when good comes, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. 7. Blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. 8. For he shall be as a tree planted by waters, and that spreads out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh. But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So when you trust in a man, as it said in the Jeremiah passage, your heart departs from the Lord, things don't go your way. When you trust in the Lord, he's going to water you. You're going to grow. You're going to produce fruit. Good fruit. So let's look at, to close this out, let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 58, I believe. Yes, Isaiah chapter 58. Now let's look at verse 11. We're going to do verse 11 and 12. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and is like a spring of water whose waters faint not. All praises. 12. And they that shall be in, I'm sorry, forgive me. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places, that thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of the paths to dwell in. Once again, we live in Satan's kingdom, right? But there's restoration, there's paths that can be cleared when you are living a righteous life and you're not being a part of the world. Now, you may be in a location where, I don't know, you could be the only believer. Hypothetically, let's say this. You're in a location where you could be the only believer. Don't you know that we're all joined by one? So all it takes is you laying down that first brick. Somebody's going to come behind you, lay down another brick. And then another brick. And there you have a foundation that's built. That's how our Lord operates. All praises. All praises. So remember, is it convenience or is it a trap? Right? So as we go through these different ages, as time is flying, here we are. It's already about to be, the end of the year of the Gregorian calendar, but time is flying. So what's important to you? What do you want to do? What do you want to serve? Who do you want to serve? Right? Continue to stay walking in faith. Continue to love one another. Look out for one another. Continue to diligently seek the Lord. Right? Don't feel content and say I know enough and that's it. I'm just gonna sit back and kick my feet up. No. This thing continues to go. And it continues and continues and continues. We have to understand. This world that we live in, even the land itself is cursed. And it tells us that when Adam and Eve transgressed. That's why you can have a rose that have a thorn on it. Right? You see something as pretty as a rose and yet it has thorns on it. That's why you see these briar patches. The land is cursed. Sin has manipulated its way within the life in this place that we dwell in ways that we can't fathom. That's why the Lord brings in New Jerusalem. That's why this place is gonna be destroyed. Right? First by water, second by fire. However, in the meantime, let's continue to pull our brothers and sisters who are in the fire from out the fire. Right? Continue to be humble. Don't be arrogant. Continue to seek this word. Dwell with people that share the same beliefs. And remember, once again, is it convenient or is it a trap? Much love. Peace.